What was every Big Ten team's strength and weakness last year? As usual, these were all based on my Snap College Football Predictive Model final ratings from last year, using the four most influential and predictive metrics of conversion percentage, completion percentage, yards per rush, and yards per pass. The first team we have in part two is Minnesota. Their strength last year was yards per rush against, where they ranked 18th in the country. But on the flip side, their weakness was yards per rush on offense, which is kind of fitting for how their season went. They had a really good defense, but not a very good offense. Next team we have is Nebraska. Their strength last year was third and fourth down conversion percentage against, where they ranked 22nd in the country. And like Minnesota, they also struggled in the run game last year, with their weakness being yards per rush, ranking down at 95th in the nation. The third team we have in this part is Northwestern. Last year, their strength was completion percentage allowed, which was the only stat they were top 50 in, and they were barely top 50 at that, finishing 49th in the country. And then their weakness was yards per pass, where they're an absolutely abysmal third worst team in the country in adjusted yards per pass, according to my model. The next team we have on this list is Ohio State. Their strength last year was yards per rush against, where they were the top defense in the country in terms of allowing yards per rush. And then their weakness, if you'd even call it that, was completion percentage against, where they're all the way down at a horrible 19th in the country. The fifth team in this part is Oregon. Their strength last year was completion percentage, where they topped the country in that category, which speaks partly for their system that they run, but partly for how good Dillon Gabriel was last year. And then their weakness was yards per rush allowed, where they ranked all the way down at 56th in the country, and we saw this kind of get exposed against Ohio State in the playoff. Then the last team in part two is Penn State. Their strength last year was yards per rush allowed, where they ranked top 3 in the country in that category. And then their weakness was conversion percentage allowed, where they ranked 28th in the nation. The other two parts are on my page already as well. I just split them up for timing purposes.